they were told not to have their language.
That's messed up.
And the Indian, there was a lot of addiction problems. And what the Ojibwe decided to is try to bring back their culture. And if they felt that they had more ownership of their culture, which includes their language, they'd be able to overcome some of these addictions and things like that. And so, in a way, it was kind of a dead language, right? That's kind of been brought up. And so, I have a friend that's up in Upper Peninsula of Michigan. He's not an Indian, but he would hang out with the Ojibwe tribes and learn their language. So you'll be, as we go through this, this'll be new language, and you'll have to memorize stuff. And I'll try to, over the first month, it may be difficult. And what we're going to try to figure out ways that you can overcome that difficulty. And it's always hard for me. And I mean, it's not hard for me. What I need to know is if you're having troubles with, what I want to know is, what is it that you need, what troubles? Because that's the only way I can figure out how I can teach it best. And over the last 7, 8 years with this, I've had different techniques, usually online at home. So, all right. Okay, so let's go how we're going to do this. Okay, so below the tentative schedule, we'll go that. There's no required book. Okay, so except for this, which I'll get into in a second. There'll be PowerPoint, and for you guys, we'll see how we're going to massage this in terms of things. Okay. I'm going to treat your class very much as a component of the online classes. So your responsibility will be to watch the videos, the PowerPoint videos online, and do what's required as an online class. Now, I will be going over a lot of that material in your class today, so you can ask me questions, because that's one of the reasons why I guess you guys decided to take this course versus online. So let's not, and so I'm not just saying, go watch the videos and do this. This is really, this can be an opportunity where I'll be doing I won't be doing full lectures, because they're already there. But I'll be like showing you the PowerPoints, what, and what you should look for, and then you can ask questions with it. All the tests and quizzes, as far as I know, will be online. I don't think I will have any. There may be 1 or 2 in class. Okay, there's going to be a lot of tests and quizzes. There's going to be a lot, especially over the next month. There's going to be, like if you notice already, which I'll show in a minute, there's 3 of them that do soon. Okay. You need to stay right on top of this material. Download those videos right now, and I'll go over that in a second. Make sure that you download them, watch them, go over them as much as you can. Take notes. Treat them as though that it's a course. Okay. Labs, I'm not sure. I'd love to have you guys do labs, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, because I think it's not going to work in terms of social distancing. But there might be a point where I might say to you guys is that if maybe I can get 3 or 4 of you. Let's say, I talk from 9 until 10, and then I go, okay, I want 3 of you to go over to the lab, and you'll do a lab, and maybe we'll do something like that. The rest of people can leave, and then they'll do it another time, okay? I would like you guys, it'd be nice if you could do some sort of lab. The lab book is like this. What I've done, will have done, is I have videotaped me doing the labs, and I recorded them, and I'll put them online. and you watch me doing them, you'll take notes, and then you'll take a quiz. So that book, so like the first lab that I do is in this book, and it's called Identification of a Substance. So when I do that lab, you go to this and see what I'm doing and record. What you need to do. Okay, Blackboard. Make sure that you pay attention to Blackboard. I put a lot. I'm trying. In the past, I end up doing a lot of announcements. It seems like we do almost 2 or 3 announcements a day. Sometimes not all the time, but I know that can get kind of overwhelming. But what you need to do is make sure that you keep an eye, check your Edison account for email and Blackboard announcements, because I had one student, or a couple of students, that say, oh, I only check my email once a week, or my Blackboard once a week. I guess that they got that because of some other online class that did that. And I go, no, you got to be on top of it all the time. Because my job is, I'm getting paid to teach you guys every day, so I get on the computer every day and check to see if you guys got questions and to make sure that we're on track. Now you guys should treat it the same way. Okay, don't cheat. Okay, just let you know. The one thing is that what I've noticed is that sometimes students will be questioned and they'll not quite understand, and they may not watch the video all that well, and they go to Wikipedia or someplace, I forget where the other places are, and they'll just cut and paste and then slap that down as their answer. And I'll go and I'll see that answer. I go, I haven't used those words in this class. Now it might be the right answer, right? But I never used those words before, like dipole moment and dispersion, polarization. And I go, I don't teach it like that. I teach it a different way. And and it's real easy. I just cut and paste that, put it in Google, pop. No, that's where they got it from. So it's really easy. It's really easy for me to see that you've done that. So don't do it. So if you do it, make sure you put it in words that I've used before. Or if you really can't do that, then cite it. Say, oh, I got it from Wikipedia. Sorry, I don't quite understand it. Because if you do that, you get 0 for that question. If you do it twice, you get 0 for that test. Okay, so don't do it. Now, you may go, oh, I'm going to flunk it. Okay, that's why I did it. Well, when you get a grade from me on your test, it's not a flunk or a pass. If you get a 50 on a test out of 100, you may go, you flunked. No, you didn't flunk, okay? You got 50 points. Now, if you get a 0 on a test, that's 0. Well, but you might, well, the 50 is a flunk, right? But what's a better flunk? 50, right? So go ahead and try. I will always give you points for trying. Okay, so now I hope, I mean, don't write random stuff. Find Fred for Flintstone, or at least try, and I'll give you at least some point, okay? And then to do this. There may be bonus points, but we'll see how it works out. Okay, that. Here's the lecture topics. Grading. So what's going to happen is that over the semester you're going to have many assessments. They'll add up between 1,500 and 2,000 points. I don't know exactly how many yet, but last semester was about 1,500. So, and that what you do is you get a straight percentage of that. So So if you get 1,000 out of 1,500, that's 67%. That's your grade, 67. Okay, so you can figure out your grade as you go along. In terms of the grades will be posted on Blackboard. If there's any discrepancies between what you think you got and what I gave you, if you have questions, let me know right away. Otherwise, it's going to stay the way it is. It's not that, you guys got to let me know that you have questions. All right. Okay, this syllabus is subject to change. Okay, it's a dynamic system. So some students go, well, you said on the Blackboard on the syllabus and you've got this and that, and I go, read that statement, okay? Now, sometimes I have to change it. Usually when I do change it, it's in your favor. I try to spread things out. I don't try to make things worse for you by changing. Okay, so any questions about syllabus? So what time does this class begin and what time does it start?
9 to 10:50.
Okay, don't get right on here. So 9 to 10:50, 2 hours, basically. So, all right. So let's get what's next. Who came in late? Your name is?
Zachary Stone.
Okay. Let's go to the zoo. Let's get to where we go. So, okay, so this is what you see. Okay, now typically the way that the announcements are set up is the latest thing is to be at the top. So what you want to make sure is you scroll down and just make sure you're caught up. All right, so it's adding new stuff at the beginning, at the top, and older stuff. So let's go down here to see where we start from. Okay, so what do we need to do? Okay. So that sort of gives you the syllabus uploaded, chemistry. Okay, you don't have to do this part. Okay, you will get those points automatic just by showing up as we take attendance this week and the next couple of weeks. All right. So if you've done this, that's fine, but you guys in the inline class don't need to do this. Again, these are the 2 emails for assignments and use my editing column for personal questions. Okay, so, all right, so now, okay, so I said, so this is actually the first, so this is actually the first announcement that you guys should be aware of. Okay, it's called Beginning. And I sent this out to you, and what this is sort of a background for the first month of this class. Okay. Now, some students have watched it, and they go, there's things on there that don't seem to be related to have been posted, which I'll talk about that, and I'll already posted. Okay, make sure you look at this. This really doesn't have test material on it. This just has you an introduction to what's going on for the first month. Okay. This is a link to a Quizlet, and this will be very good for the first set of the 3 quizzes that you'll be that you have to do this week. And I'll show you how to use this video here. We show you how to use Quizlet. Okay. All right, so, okay. All right, and then, the next announcement is your first assignment. The first assignment says Basic Chemistry Quiz 1. It says this is the first of 3 quizzes relating to the PowerPoint. Okay, this is the first PowerPoint, so in that introductory video I talked about three videos, okay? This is the first one that you really have to work on for this week. And it'll be related to the 3 quizzes called Chemistry Basic Quiz. So watch that. This is the Quizlet. And then there'll be a quiz on that that's going to be due tomorrow. Okay? There'll be 38 multiple choice. Okay? You can use notes. Okay? All right? You have 45 minutes to do it. Well, it's available tomorrow, but it's due on Friday. Okay? So that's what I usually do, is I'll make it available, and then you'll have maybe 2 days to get it done by midnight. Okay? The quizzes are, as soon as you click on it, got to get it done. All right, and this says 45 minutes, so if you click on it now, yeah, you got to be done by what? Okay, 10:35. The other thing is you only get 1 attempt for now. Okay. And if you go, oh, that sounds like a lot, well, people succeeded last semester with it. So the last couple semesters I've had this. So we'll go over the PowerPoint that relates to this and Quizlet in a minute. Okay, so basic quiz number 2, again, you're going to be using the same video and the same, but now they're going to be a little bit different. Okay, they might be the same or different. So the second one's is to help you get more of it, practice. This goes to basically practice these basic quizzes. Okay, and that one is available 21st, and then next Monday. Again, they're going to be very similar. That's the first one. And then the third quiz, again, is going to be using the same PowerPoint and the same Quizlet. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
You're good to stay.
Oh, okay, great.
You didn't get an email yet, but I just talked first.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So you're good.
All right, thank you very much. All right, this time we need, so this one you will actually be, you'll have, the first 2 is multiple choice. This one you actually have to answer. You write it out in your words, okay? And all of this is on Blackboard, and I'll show you where to get that in a second. And then you have 60 minutes just because of that, be longer, and it goes out Thursday, and I do Monday. Okay. All right, now a note about the videos is that if you click on these guys, they may do that. And you go, oh, I can't get to it. So what you need to do is cut and paste. Oops. Hopefully. Cut and paste, and then you'll be able to watch it. Okay, so welcome. All right. Okay. Anybody have that problem yet? Some of you may not, but I know it's happened before. Okay, this says, so if you watch the first material, I talked about these 3 videos. For the basic quiz, we're only using this. These next 2 will be starting next week. All right, so if you want to watch these guys, in fact, they're not even available yet. Okay, so I will make them available at, probably by the weekend. So, okay. All right, and you guys don't have to do this because this attendance test. I sent that note out to you, didn't I? No, I just said show up today. All right. Okay. So you don't have to do this one right here, because you're here. All right. Any questions about the announcements? Okay, so let's look at material. All right, so. Okay, so again, this is what you guys notice. You have announcements, attendance tests, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so somewhere down here, I give you the link to my YouTube about the material that you have to know now. But what I also do is I put it over here in the sidebar. That's what I call it. I don't know if that's what you think, but I will also put a link to the no voice version, because I know when you go through, it's hard to stop the voice and get notes. Sometimes you just want to see what's there. Right. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go over this. Okay. So this is the first set of material. And so this is just the introduction. So then to me, just to make sure that you guys watch it. I'm not going to do a full lecture on it now. What I'll do is just going to pinpoint things about it. So these will be the 3 videos. This top one is the one that you need for the basic chemistry quizzes. The other 2 will come out next week. Now, one thing about if you notice, I put the times next to it. All right. Now, in class, you guys are captivated by my lecturing. Okay. All right. When it's on YouTube, you got to be an amazing person to be captivated for anything for 50 minutes, okay? Unless it's Game of Thrones or whatever you like, okay? Do you figure that on your own? Figure out how you're going to deal with it? You're going to sit down and watch for 10 minutes, watch for 20 minutes. I think I might have some videos that are maybe an hour and a half. Because look how long I've talked. Okay, I'm not done. And you guys would be normally taking notes during class like that, so keep an eye on that. All right. There's Quizlet links, okay, and each one of these will be specified in the announcements how they deal with a particular assessment. This first one is what you'll be using for the first, okay, and also I believe maybe this one. Let's see. Okay. And I'll talk about this later. Okay, so that's your introduction. Now this is real stuff. So this is where you guys will start taking notes. So let's go over this. Again, I'm not going to do I don't know what I'm going to do. I got 50 minutes, but we'll go in. I guess it's okay, so what is chemistry? And on the quizzes you'll be giving questions like this. Now don't go to the, some students don't watch the video and then they go to the internet and they look up definition on chemistry, and there will be a question, what is one definition of chemistry? Or it might be, give me a couple definitions of chemistry. So you'll get, there'll be different definitions, so pay attention. I have one of them up here, but there'll be another one down the road. I've had students, and it's really, they'll write down chemistry. Definition of chemistry is how the interactions with human beings and how they interact with each other. And I go, what does that have to do with my class? but if you go look up a definition of chemistry on the internet, it'll come up with one of those definitions. So don't do that. Okay. Okay, so again, this is, and again, you don't really just write all this down, but it's all there for you. What matter is, it's massive. Matter is all the stuff there is, and matter has very specific properties. It's three-dimensional, subspace, and also has mass. Now, one of the key things is we all have an idea of what volume is. Okay. But mass is kind of an odd thing. And usually in classes I ask students what they think mass is. And mass is sometimes a hard thing to actually understand. It's not weight. Well, weight and mass are related. Matter has mass, and what mass is, it's a measure of how hard it is to move that mass. So what we say is mass has inertia. All matter has inertia. All matter wants to, kind of weird to say this, but we say want. But matter doesn't get up and move around, all right? In fact, matter just sits there, and one of the properties of matter is how hard it is to get that matter going. So the more inertia something is, the harder it is to move it. And the way we measure that movement is something called mass. So something that has a lot of mass, that's a measure of inertia, which is actually a great word for laziness. Now, this first day of class, my guess is the inertia was we were pretty massive this morning. Don't get it mixed up with weight. What weight is weight includes gravity. So your mass, my mass anywhere in the universe. So mass doesn't change where you are in the universe. Your mass is always going to be the same. So my mass is about 70 kilograms, okay, anywhere in the universe. Okay, so that's no matter anywhere in the universe, it requires that much energy force to move me. Okay. Now, on the Earth, my weight is that inertia is also affected by the gravity. So on the Earth, it's harder to push my mass because gravity is pulling down on me more than on the moon. So the moon has less gravitational pull on me. So it's so that you have to add in a component of gravity as well as your own mass in terms of moving things around wherever there's gravity. So you weigh, so on Earth I weigh about 150 pounds, but on the moon I weigh about 50 or something like that. But I have the same mass. And the reason why I weigh less is because there's less gravitational pull on the moon that's pulling me, so I'm able to bounce around and do stuff more, right? Now in this class, I'll use the word weight and mass interchangeable. So I technically should say this mouse mass is 2 grams. But I use the word weigh, it weighs 2 grams, know that I'm using those words interchangeably. Right. Now, if you had, some chemistry teachers are really, you know, they don't like doing that, but know that I'm doing that. Okay, so there's volume as a second component. Okay, so, all right, once you have matter, once we know what matter is, and that's what we're going to study. So chemistry is the study of matter and changes of matter. Not all matter is the same. And what we would like to do is we like to differentiate between the different types of matter. Now, it turns out that this differentiation of the different types of matter has actually determined the study of chemistry. Okay, before we came up, you guys may go, oh, okay, it looks like an economist chart or whatever. It's before we came up with this separation of matter, there was really no science of chemistry. There were things people were doing with chemistry, but there wasn't science. What's the cool thing about chemistry? Chemistry is fairly new. I think it was actually introduced about 1776, right? It was in the late 1700s that chemistry became a science. And what's interesting is, have you guys, if I send it, say, in an encyclopedia, do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. That used to be our Google, right? So I had this, when I was growing up, I used to have the World Book, and I used to spend hours just looking at it, just like you do Google these days. And then the best encyclopedia was called something called the Encyclopedia Britannica. And there's like 20 volumes, and each one is about this thick with paper, razor thin paper. And now they came up with my folks bought this series back in the 1970s, and when they bought this series, they got copies of the original Encyclopedia Britannica that was written like in the 1774. And they're like this, there's 3 volumes that are this thick, okay? And that's it. And they try to put everything in there. And so you go in there, and you open them up, and they'll have this big section about anatomy. And they'll have a big section about biology. But they have no chemistry. There's no chemistry in that encyclopedia. They have alchemy.
Alchemy?
Yeah, they thought alchemy was the closest thing to chemistry before 1800. Chemistry didn't become a science as we know it until about 1850. So it's almost brand new. And one of the reasons why